Wincobank Hill, one of my favourite parts of Sheffield. Easy to get to from Meadowhall. You can park the car, you can get the bus there. A 2k walk through the woods before you get to some big boulders where you turn left up an old track, sandy track, all the way to the top where there's been old Iron Age hill fort for awesome views over Don Valley, Meadowhall, IKEA, the motorway, and then slowly dropping downhill back through the new housing estate or straight on and back to the car or the bus stop. Here's the map and the route, just showing how close you are to Meadowhall. You can download the route on the description below and then just follow it on your phone. Okay, so this week's walk is Wincobank Hill, which, as it says here, Wincobank Hill offers one of the finest views of Sheffield and the surrounding areas. Totally agree. People have lived up here for over 2,500 years. There's loads of different ways in. We're starting just here today and we're going to head all the way to the top, up to the old Iron Age fort. You can get up here on Jenkin Road, but I'll put all the different links in the description below of where to park, where to get buses from. But to start with, we just head down here and you're looking for a big green foot. And if you find the big green foot, you've come the right way. So I've lost track of the number of times I've come here with schools, mainly Hindhouse Primary, which is just out behind us, and we get here and for the first time for some children it's the view that takes their breath away. Looking straight down to Sheffield city centre. We're going to take a left and into the woods. Okay, as the name suggests, it's Wincobank Hill. There is a bit of a hill to walk up, so although the trail starts off being pushchair friendly, it is a bit of a challenge to get to the top with a pushchair. Doable, but I'm not sure I'd recommend it for a first outing. As we get into the woods, we can take a left or go straight on. We're going to go straight on today down the bottom path, and we'll return coming down this path here with the handrail on the left. That is the quickest route to the top. I love this route going down this path here. As with lots of these walks, we're never far from Sheffield city centre. I'd be there on a bike in 15 minutes, Meadowhall in 5 minutes on a bike, and yet this is the sound. There are lots of paths off to the left, a few little ones to the right, but for today's walk we're going to head down the main path, staying on this path all the way till we get to some big sandstone boulders. Okay, we've just started going downhill, again staying on the main path, but there are numerous paths off to the left, and basically the hill's up there. So if at any stage you want to get to the top quickly, just take a left. But we're still en route for the basically the big boulders. You'll see the big boulders down here. Okay, getting close to the boulders. There's a path to the right, to the bench. We're going to follow this to Grimethorpe, having just come from the flower estate. And just ahead you can see the first of the boulders. I'm going to walk straight past these to the next set of boulders. Okay, so we've finally made it to the track that goes up to the old hill fort. These are the big boulders I was talking about. We're going to head that way in a moment. There are other options down to Grimethorpe, but this gives us a little clue as to where we're going. The hill fort, which is straight up there. It's a little bit loose in places, and don't forget to turn around. Not sure walking up a hill and talking is a good idea. but there's been links to this being a Roman road in the past. Apparently no evidence of the Roman road actually being here, although it does link to other forts. It's definitely sandy, sandstone, but just about here I always get the children to turn around to catch the breath, but also you can just see Sheffield city centre. See the town hall. As we go higher we'll see even more. Okay, the view from the top. Northern General Hospital in the bottom, Firth Vale School, far horizon, this side of the peaks, the Hallamshire Hospital, the city centre. If you look carefully you can just see Sheffield United's ground, but we're going to continue with the main path, but it's worth having a little stop there. It's losing its colour now, but this always amazes me. We're minutes from Meadowhall, and yet heather that we'd normally find on the moor is here. So if you come at the right time of the year, this particular section is gorgeous. Okay, this little section here, it's quite hard to make out, but the main path goes straight on, and there's a little one just to the left. I often send the children that way, see if they can make it. It's not that adventurous, pretty safe. You can see them all the way, and we all rejoin just up here. Approaching the summit, the top of Wincobank Hill, and just as you get towards the top, some amazing trees that are perfect for climbing with supervision. Nice low branches, nice and solid. And there's a few more just approaching Wincobank Hill, and as we get to the top there's evidence of how it was used in the past. A load of concrete just here. I think that's the old searchlight for World War II. There's some information in the description below. But we're very close to the old rampart. So just from the left there, this is the old wall that stood for 2,500, 3,000 years. So just the tree line, not those ones in the middle, the far tree line, it's pretty much the old wall where the Iron Age fort was in the middle. So we're walking along the old wall, and depending on what you like, the view has changed somewhat in 2,000 years. So we're now looking down towards Meadowhall, the M1, IKEA. This is the Don Valley, the arena, and to the right is Sheffield. So from the car to here, just over a kilometre, 20 minutes for me. I've not stopped though, so a good half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but well worth it for the views. You can super tram down there, often here and see the trains going past. Now you can either follow the old wall all the way around. I'm going to show you this route and a couple of trees that are fantastic for climbing. Okay, so that's the old wall going round the way we came up, and these oak trees, well, I've been climbing them for probably 15 years, 20 years, but as you get underneath you can see why they're a perfect introduction to children who may not have climbed trees before. They don't need to go very high. Just worth checking the floor for any litter before you climb. So having done a spot of climbing, we're back on the main path that cuts straight through the old Iron Age hill fort, Loads of information in the description below. But the local schools, lots of them are run by Brigantia Learning Trust. See if you can spot the link. And we're going to come out of the old fort. We get the old ramparts wall just on the right, which you could have taken that route. So it did in the past go down that way and continues around. Okay, so once you get to the cobbles, you could either go straight on, and that lane leads to Wincobank Hill, right down to Meadowhall, left back down into Wincobank. We're going to take a left just here, the site of the old Wincobank Tower. So unsurprisingly, from the top it's downhill all the way. Back to the car, back to the bus stop. There's good access obviously by car. There's regular buses from Meadowhall, city centre. We head down here a few steps and we can take a right. So we've just come down from the top, another junction, an apple tree which does stand out compared to the rest of mainly oak trees and silver birches. That'll take us back to the top. Then we're going to head down, and this is where you can choose to go right into the new estate. There's a little park, or straight back down to where we first entered the woods. So this path going straight on goes back down to where we first entered the woods, and you take a right back to the start. I'm going to take a right here just to show you this exit out of the woods. So just down the steps, first left at the end, and you'll follow it all the way around to where you left your car or got off the bus, or you can go straight on. There's other options. I'm going to go left just out of habit, but there's a little park there. Okay, so 2 kilometres later, just over half an hour for me, probably a bit longer with children, we are back at the start. So we've just come down this way, but if you would have stayed in the woods you would have come back out at the Green Foot. And now straight down there to the car or a bus, or maybe even a walk back down to Meadowhall. Remember to hit subscribe if you want to find out about more walks. Where will we be next week? Thanks for looking. Don't forget to head down to the Decathlon, either online or in person, to check out everything you might need for your day beyond the 4 walls.